So my name is Maggie Smith, and so today we're going to be talking about censorship of the conservative view in the media. Now my IB topic is language and campaigns, in particular how are different media used to influence the public. My question is, how has censorship of the conservative view in social media influenced the population? Now before jumping right into my research question, I want to give you a little background information. Now, 79% of Americans in 2019 use social media, which has grown exponentially from 2008 with only 10%. All the way up, you can see the growth into 2019 with 79%. However, 68% of Americans receive their news from social media, as opposed to other news outlets such as magazines and television. They receive their media from social media. So 43% get it from Facebook, 21% from YouTube, 12% from Twitter, all the way down to Tumblr with 1%. Now, censorship, by definition, is the suppression or prohibition of any parts of books, films, news, etc. that are considered obscene, politically unacceptable, or a threat to security. Now, both Democrats and Republicans believe that social media companies censor their users. However, the issue swings heavily conservative. Now, 4 in 10 Americans believe that companies favor liberal speech, while 1 in 10 Americans believe that companies favor conservative speech, meaning that the companies are more liberal, and so they promote that kind of agenda as opposed to conservatives. Now, 85%, just more specific statistics, 85% of Republicans and 62% of Democrats believe that social media companies censor speech that they find objectionable. Now, in particular, we're going to be talking about Google, and through Google, we're going to be talking about YouTube. Now, YouTube has over 1.3 billion people around the world using YouTube. Now, Google and YouTube advertise YouTube to the public as a forum intended to defend and protect free speech, where members of the general public may express and exchange their ideas. YouTube states that voices matter and that they are committed to fostering a community where everyone's voices can be heard. Well, is that true? Well, we're going to find out. So, one example is Prager University, or PragerU, who's a nonprofit YouTube account that creates videos teaching the younger generations in topics of economics, politics, and philosophy, specifically from the conservative perspective. Now, recently, more than 50 of their videos have either been restricted or demonetized by YouTube. And now all of those present the conservative point of view. And so Prager University files a lawsuit against Google and YouTube, stating that this restriction of their videos is a violation of their First Amendment rights. Now, some of their restricted video titles include Why America Must Lead, The 10 Commandments Do Not Murder, Why Did America Fight the Korean War, and a video by Harvard Law professor Alan Dershowitz, who happens to be a Democrat, on the founding of Israel. Now, Google and YouTube made it clear that the censorship of certain videos was because they were deemed inappropriate for the younger generations. Well, I don't know about you, but none of these titles of these videos strike me as particularly inappropriate to younger generations. There's no swearing, there's nothing like that that would mark it as inappropriate to the younger generations. But now this is just one example of the censorship of YouTube, of the conservative perspective, or not even just the conservative perspective, as they've recently censored some of The Economists, another well-known YouTube and media presence. But here's what Dennis Prager had to say about the censorship. So Dennis Prager, the founder of PragerU, says, watch any of our videos and you'll immediately realize that Google/YouTube censorship is entirely ideologically based. For the record, our videos are presented by some of the finest minds in the Western world, including 4 Pulitzer Prize winners, former prime ministers, and professors from the most prestigious universities in America. Former California Governor Pete Wilson also had something to say on the matter. Google and YouTube's use of unrestricted mode filtering to silence PragerU violates its fundamental First Amendment rights under California and United States constitutions. It constitutes unlawful discrimination under California law and a misleading and unfair business practice and breaches the warranty of good faith and fair dealing implied in Google and YouTube's own terms of use and community guidelines. Now another example is Facebook. Now one example is Diamond and Silk. Diamond and Silk are 2 sisters who have gathered a large conservative fan base with 1.3 million followers on Facebook and are known for their pro-Trump beliefs. And here's a picture of what they look like with President Trump. Now in September, Facebook began to prevent them from notifying their followers of new videos and started to limit the spread of their posts without any explanation or warning whatsoever to these 2 Facebook celebrities. So they had to find out from their fan base, shared with them that they weren't getting any notifications. There was no warning from Facebook. It came completely unexpectedly. So a few weeks ago, Diamond and Silk received an email from Facebook stating that they were being suspended as their content and brand were unsafe to the community. And so this is what their response to that was. We don't belong to no gang, so how are we unsafe to the community? It bothers me, it's offensive, it's appalling. Why are you censoring 2 women of color? They're, referring to Facebook, trying to become a dictator. And they're trying to dictate what goes out on social media to influence the public's view, to only push and advertise to their specific ideologically based beliefs. They're not showing everyone, which is what's promised, that they're a neutral platform, is what Facebook promises. So, but according to them, this isn't the first time that something like this, the censorship, has happened to them. They claim that last year, YouTube stopped monetizing of their videos as a means of retaliation to their support of Trump. And so here's the tweet right there that they posted stating that. So here we have, so recently there has been a trial against Zuckerberg about Facebook censorship. So here's a quick clip about that between Senator Cruz and Mark Zuckerberg.
There have been numerous instances with Facebook. In May of 2016, Gizmodo reported that Facebook had purposely and routinely suppressed conservative stories from trending news, including stories about CPAC, including stories about Mitt Romney, including stories about the Lois Lerner IRS scandal, including stories about Glenn Beck. In addition to that, Facebook has initially shut down the Chick-fil-A Appreciation Day page, has blocked a post of a Fox News reporter, has blocked over 24 Catholic pages, and most recently blocked Trump supporters Diamond and Silk's page with 1.2 million Facebook followers after determining their content and brand were, quote, unsafe to the community. To a great many Americans, that appears to be a pervasive pattern of political bias. Do you agree with that, Susan?
Senator, let me say a few things about this. First, I understand where that concern is coming from because Facebook and the tech industry are located in Silicon Valley, which is an extremely left-leaning place. And this is actually a concern that I have and that I try to root out in the company, is making sure that we don't have any bias in the work that we do. And I think it is a fair concern that that people would at least wonder about.
Let me ask this question. Are you aware of any ad or page that has been taken down from Planned Parenthood?
Senator, I'm not, but let me just...
How about MoveOn.org?
Sorry?
How about MoveOn.org?
I'm not specifically aware of those.
How about any Democratic candidate for office?
I'm not specifically aware. I mean, I'm not sure.
In your testimony...
So just in this quick clip, it appears to me that Mark Zuckerberg doesn't seem to be aware of some of the censorship that's going on, or he's just not admitting to it, so he's kind of grasping at straws. So next we have Twitter. So in October, Twitter banned 10 conservative accounts without warning. So here's the 10. 2 of which were personal accounts. The others were connected to a website. So here's an example of one of the emails that the Twitter pages received. So your account has been suspended for violating the Twitter rules. So, you know, the note that's if you attempt to evade permanent suspension by creating new accounts, you'll suspend your new accounts. So these were also given without warning. They just suspended them. And 8 of which had never received any warning previously, while 3 had been suspended, 7, sorry, 7 had been given without no warning, while 3 had been suspended previously, but it was 6 months ago, so it was a very long time ago. So one of the personal accounts stated that as soon as she got the notification she had just been suspended, she appealed. So 4 seconds after filling out that appeal form, she received a notice that she had been banned, as opposed to being suspended for standing up that this was wrong and being like, this is a mistake, I haven't done anything wrong. She got banned. So, yeah. So when asked about why the accounts were banned, Twitter responded, your account has due to multiple or repeated violations of the Twitter rules. That is very vague. There is no specific explanation as to why. They're just saying, you know, you violated the rules, but they don't know what rules they were supposedly not following. So how are they able to prevent someone from doing it again? It's not very specific. But however, not all conservatives and Democrats agree as to whether the censorship is a violation of the First Amendment rights. So as Facebook, Twitter, and Google, YouTube are privately owned companies, so they can do as they please. However, the other side argues that they act as more of a monopoly, as there's no alternative for the banned conservatives to go to and create a following. Now, I found that the comparison between YouTube and George Orwell's 1984 is eerily similar. You have the media, Twitter, Facebook, Google, YouTube, etc., as Oceana, with the thought police persecuting anyone who has an independent thought outside of a particular viewpoint, which I find is eerily similar to what's going on now with the social media persecuting the conservatives, or, you know, persecuting as in banned them from their social media platforms for coming up with a thought viewpoint that is outside of the social norms that social media creates. And thank you.